I like that Mongols are coming into the series hoping to go off of their strengths. Mohan, we'll see what they've got in store for us to close out the evening.
Yeah, Mongols are just in that transitory period between, tier 2, tier 1 wins consistently, and they can still sort of lose to anybody. Spirit really haven't shown that they can lose to a team as far down the rankings as this. So this would be their biggest win so far if they can pull it off.
If we get the double kill from Mzino, we get the push into the B site. Nobody here going to stop it as Chopper just waits on the short side, hears the rumblings of the long wrap, and just maintains a bit of control, right? With a bit of control comes a better chance. Perhaps Donk goes forward, Chopper goes back. Maybe Donk's just going to get fed to the wolves. Or maybe he is the wolf in sheep's clothing. 1 kill for him. Chopper did come to help out, but Senzu's got them Berettas, as does Zontix in this 1 versus 2, not working with the kit at the moment, trying to close that gap to the site, but it's a quick game of ring around the rosy. Short gets taken back by Senzu, and this is looking like a nice pistol win for Mongols. A tap of the bomb causes a bit of panic, but there's that Senzu triple, and he is the key to the Mongols pistol.
Yes, the Malzino 2K as well helped out a ton there as they busted open from the cave. Nice one from the Mongols to start this off. And yeah, here at Cologne, I mean, in IEMs in general, this is where we see some of the most amazing games and performances out of the Mongols. And for Spirit, of course, the last time they met was at IEM Katowice, and that was in the play-in, and that was the beginning of Spirit, right? That's before we knew how strong Spirit were. Right. And then they had the best tournament run in history. Well, Donk did. Anyways, and lots to prove. Lots of respect, though, across the board. We heard from Magic's interview about the Mongols, knowing that they take some big wins, they play aggressively. And as he lied about, of course, he got the double op.
How much has changed, huh, since their last matchup? Play-in of Kato to, of course, the season Spirit had, being the only team to hoist 2 S-tier trophies. Mongols, since then, they've touched a trophy. Launders.
They got Yala.
Imagine.
Yeah, and it was a solid win, but there was no one like Spirit there.
Oh, how expectations have changed for both these teams since those days at the start of 2024. Easy couple of kills here. Look at the pistols trying to stack up behind smokes, but it gets torn apart. It looks like Mongols are going to be confident in their conversion, as they should be. USPs don't mean much. They all get swept out. That's a good amount of money made on top of it for the Mongols. Blitz is locked in.
Yeah, it's also, just having Ancient come in as an opening map. This is a place where Spirit are going to be like very, very happy to play. And it would be a massive statement to pull this off. Now we had Liquid, who got humbled today by FaZe, the underdogs. Then we had G2, who got humbled today by Saw, the underdogs. And now Mongols are going to try to steal all the thunder here and be the biggest upset of the day. But there's some magic in the air today.
Anything is possible at Cologne. Techno dives the site, gets tagged up heavily, but he's got a teammate to help him. Mzino kills Chopper. Magic's down empty-handed. We're talking about the first gun round from Spirit, and it is instantly a save called in a 3v5. Launders, talk us through it.
At Katowice, we had the play-in stage where both these teams started. And for some teams, like talking to Acor on Gamer Legion, he talked about how difficult it is playing each game every day, going home and practicing, and then coming back and winning your next match. And then by the end of the stage 2, you're so exhausted that it feels like you've played 2 full tournaments already. That's how difficult it is these days at these IEMs. And right now we have Spirit coming in just at this stage, right? Not having to play the play-in for once.
Ooh, life of luxury.
Life of luxury, but also one where Mongols have spent the week practicing, have been here ready. And so stylistically, I really like the calls to come out very aggressive in the beginning. Oops. Just put it to everything, right? They're testing the communication, the cohesion, the aim. No time to warm up, no time to think, as Mongols set off with a very hot pace. And I think that's the exact right way to play.
Out of the gate with the 3-0 start. Young Donk hasn't had a chance to really shine just yet. And I think he's going to be very bloodthirsty for exactly that. To keep Donk on a leash seems like a cardinal sin. So back in with guns. It's an easy rebuy, of course. Sure, Mongols, you may have caught us off on the B site, thanks Chopper. But he's going to make sure to bolster what was saved with a rebuy. It's very light on utility, however, but let's see if Shiro's op, posted early on the deep right A main side, can make a difference. Peeks right there. His is easy. That Senzu down. an incendiary to hold them back and no immediate pounce out of the Mongols, but they will make some audio on the fallback.
They really wanted to come in light and commit to that. And with that smoke coming out on Donut, not seeing anybody, I think it's going to be crystal clear here to Team Spirit. There was a full committal happening. So once they clear out rotations, Chopper is obviously in the spot that can get info late into the rounds. And
nice
what
shot.
a find, however, back from Malzinho.
Can Zontix pick up slack? Yes, sir. 9-10 down. Miss jump. Doesn't matter. Into the repeak, and it is the rifle work that Team Spirit were looking for here. Shiro adding a second to the tally, and the MP9 of Chopper into the free upgrade. That's the kind of round that Spirit are looking for. They don't get trounced in the opening 10 seconds. Nobody overwhelms a bomb site. Shiro puts that op up, and Team Spirit on the board.
I actually think stylistically, I like the call from Mongols again to go for that play. Now, of course, they could have had a boost in the back of main if they thought Shiro was starting there. They could have tried to jump across and trade him right away. But they were just hoping that if he wasn't there, that this round would pretty much be over. They would explode on the site as the smoke comes out, and then they would just go 1 for 1. But they weren't in a position to do that. One peek came out too early, no flash on Shiro at all, and no one there to chase him down when he left. But I will say he'd be one of the hardest oppers to chase down in that position. He knows how to play that angle perfectly. He knows how to get away. And we've seen so many people set this up incorrectly and end up blowing the round. Shiro is not going to be that guy.
Instant mid-fight. Here we go again, trying to keep that tempo up. With the two smokes, they get the CTs to scatter, but a nice slide out here from Zontix. And he's got another pinned, bottom of B. We have damage done, but also a CT falls. Chopper to the wayside, Magic's to the backside, and he pulls them in, controlling the M4, getting Senzu on a silver platter, and pushing us to the 2v4 at a minute 30, Mo.
They handled all these micro decisions so perfectly, and the aim from Zontix is just beautiful today. Senzu, Malzinho, Zontix, all showing some great frags.
Feels like this skill ceiling is so high with the rifles in the server this evening. 9-10 gets Magic's. Blitz nose!
Oh!
And we go back 2v2.
It's winnable.
Evened out.
Was Shiro? Imagine.
Doesn't seem like him to do it. He's got a teammate. They anticipate a deep peek. It could be set up by Blitz. 9-10 doesn't have a flash to help him. It goes the other way around. They're gonna oh, damn, missed run boost. Oh, doesn't matter. Tonk says, let me go. Blitz able to rock him back with a headshot. It's a tough one here for Shiro, but he's got a mollied and put down. Grabs the kit. He's got the time. That is hilarious.
That is so funny.
They missed the run boost. Tonk goes, meh.
Nice one. Oh my god. And then Shiro watching his own molly in that position where it wasn't even required of him to push through it. He could have played it and delayed on the other side of it. It looked like a weird place to molly in the first place. Nice one though. Shiro wins the sort of psychological mind game.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, that's how I'd feel. I like the tempo coming out of Mongols last round. That instant mid-hit off the double smokes. This time they don't block off Donut. A little more room, of course, for Donk to wiggle around in, but it's a lot of footwork here on lane. Chopper's nade negligible. Purchase power a little bit limited here for Mongols. Their lead about to get evened out. Team Spirit gonna lay down another volley of util. This is gonna keep 9-10 separated from his two teammates on lane, who are simultaneously taking control of middle, but we get this wide swing from Chopper. He does not want anything to do with this fight with that weapon, and so it is to no surprise that he goes down. Doesn't even get a shot off, just wants to disengage, but gets tagged as he tries to desperately jump back. This puts a lot more pressure on Magic's. Of course, Shiro is over towards the caves, but Magic's here. Yeah, try not to go down to the Deeg. He dinks Blitz. Shiro whiffs. Puts a smoke down towards ramp, and they've lost support. This is all Shiro now.
What?
And down he goes to a Deagle from 9-10. That is 3 instant kills coming out from Mongols, and a site that looked like it had a chance ends up getting nothing.
Wow, they will completely fall apart. That was actually beautifully done because Magic's put himself in a spot to multi-frag. He was playing very carefully on the angle. He got a little damage off, but Mongols never let a kill go without actually finding a trade or some space back. And they forced Shiro to shoot and fall back. They also get these kills without allowing Team Spirit to save. And look at the hunt that's happening. They don't know where Zontix is, but Blitz might incidentally find him in just a few seconds.
Oy, oy, oy. Done. Down. 5 up for Mongols. And, excuse me, I said their lead might get stamped out. That is a convincing win out of nowhere. And it all starts to kind of get unraveled when Chopper ends up getting caught, right? Clip not being able to fall back behind boxes. Everybody else inside this B site felt like they had to make it happen. And this 9-10 Deeg.
Oh my God, it was like
dirty.
that. Yeah, I was like, what was the smoke? All right, well, 2 good rounds out of Spirit, but 4 equally good ones here from Mongols.
Another fast mid-fight right in. Dude, absolutely blindsided. Luckily for Team Spirit, you've got Donk to trade it. We get the Cade fight, but Pistols torn apart by Techno. He 2-steps his way through middle alongside an additional 2 teammates. And we get this wall of attack from Mongols just working its way through middle. Here comes Donk. He loses half his health, but he does pull Techno off the play. And if he gets this one, well, now there's a chance at hanging on to the site. Donk goes big with 2 impactful frags, but it costs him 98 HP. Shiro inching his way over, also from CT spawn. But with the utility here, with the bomb down,
and the
it feels like Mongols can just back up.
I don't know if they can find one, but I don't see a kit so far. Must be missing it, yeah.
Wouldn't be one in the site anyways, so nothing to really pick up. They do put that smoke down on top of the bomb. If they can cause panic, if they can create a desperate situation, then maybe this does still go their way. The nade kills Donk, and Shiro still now just tapping the bomb, so it will elicit a reaction in the form of another frag. They expose the lack of diffuser, and Shiro's just stuck here, not able to do much. So perfectly pieced together by the utility of the Mongols. That post plant, convincing.
Gotta like what we're seeing here from the Mongols. Those mid trades are beautiful. I mean, it's players getting one bulleted that I think inspires the most confidence here as they're swinging out. Big ones from Senzu, Mazinho. There's a lot of good things to say.
I can feel Mac getting his hopes up.
Yeah, what about Bleh? He's probably going to the corner store to buy a beer right now.
He was probably already there. Team Spirit coming through with another tack timeout. We always give Hallie a lot of praise for kind of preparation. We know he likes to be a prep-heavy piece of the strategy machine that is Team Spirit, feeding Chopper the information he needs. But even in that pregame, you know, Magic's saying, like, it's a bit of a unique style. There's a lot of double ops coming out from Mongols on CT sides. They're just a little different. And sometimes that difference translates to discomfort.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's just a better individual level from Mongols across the board.
They really like the Fianchetto of the Bishops. You know what I mean?
No. No, I really don't. But happy for you. Or sad that happened. Shiro doesn't know what happened. This guy just gets steamrolled by Senzu, who is now off to an 8-3 start on Ancient. We've got Magix pressed in against the wall of Long, but just the P250, not even armor. You know, Donk really has to be the savior. Just another day in the office. Donk slides out.
Be careful because it's him. You can't commit to a rough spray when it's Donk on the other side. No round's going to come for free.
Pulls all the way back, looks to reposition that M4, and if he's fast enough, he will find another fight in middle, and if he finds a fight, he'll take a fight. Yeah. It's Donk after all.
And there's a lot of players loitering inside of middle. Donk waiting for the smoke timing to come up. Blitz is aware of it. He'll squeeze the donut, and I think there's still a question right now for Spirit as to whether or not it's A or B. They don't know. But they have players to get information quickly. Ooh, smoke back, lands behind them. But Spirit are just going to assume it's a fake, and they're right.
Yeah, they don't give a damn. Chopper slides off his box. There's the peak, the lineup.
Oh, you gotta kill him when you got the chance.
That is all 3 kills this round to him, and 9-10 is stranded with the bomb. Is there anything Blitz can do to help his teammate? If they start to think this is actually A, then 9-10 can at the very least slip into sight. But listen, they left one.
They left one, yeah.
And now with a kill back bottom mid, the D comes out, but they may not think Magix is here.
Oh my god.
It's a P250 and a dream. He swipes it away, drops the plant, no chance, blitz on the chase, and it all boils down to Magix just hiding on the column. Oh, this round could have gone back and forth. Blitz doesn't die after time, but it's added to the tally of Team Spirit.
Oh man, that's Senzu coming in to try to duel with Dunk on the side as a lone rifler, and they know that this is half an eco. But when you don't win this duel, and he lives with so much HP, and he's going to be as pervasive as we know Dunk is, and he runs to middle, they're giving him more chances to play. This is not a kid you want to play with. Takes the game into his own hands.
He's definitely the kid you don't want to play against. If we're in the playground, I'd pick him first. Smoke again down for elbow, so we've seen a lot of moves out of the Mongols straight out the gate with taking mid control, but this time we actually get Team Spirit smoking off the approach, giving themselves the best chance to use this climb up to just pressure lane. And while they're doing so, there's no damage that's really being done. Not enough for them to really commit to it, not enough for them to run that risk. They'll depart with another smoke at the minute mark.
Always nice to throw in a bit of a pause break of a round in the complexion of this T-half, which has been very high tempo. And late mid is a position where, as long as they're not in heaven, it's hard to keep the resources high enough to defend elbow. So you can sometimes just walk into mid like we've seen Mongols just do. But there's actually a big gap here. I mean, they have the ability to threaten the A-split, and they know that no one's inside of middle, but it's looking like a fake. Like, look at the complexion of this round. They're just staging for map control, threatening the A-site hit, but Zontix is already pushing Donut into middle.
Yep. Can he flank around Red Room fast enough? Does he even want it?
But they're phasing the smoke. They're going to close this door themselves and then open it as well.
So he's going to go for the chase up lane instead, held by 910. Oh, if only he had attacked the back line. Now CT's on site, start to get pressure from both ends. Do they anticipate two? Chopper holds his.
Time.
7 seconds. The ramp doesn't fall. Chopper stands tall. And as Mzinho tries to close that gap, time's already decided. This one is Spirit yet again.
Oh, man. They had the tools. They had the brushes. They just didn't have the paint. They ran out. That was very close to, you know, kind of a godlike call coming together in the final few seconds, but when you have the bomb on ramp and an op that literally needs to plow through two people who are sitting here, the odds are very low that this can happen. And 910 is relying heavily on his teammates to make up for this, to find these entries. But because they smoked out, they smoked themselves out in the A-split, which is a great idea if it happened a little earlier. They didn't have time to help get the kills on the site. And at that point, Spirit were already happily there with 3 people.
Yeah. Honestly, it felt like so much to praise for Mongols until it really boils down to just the crunch time.
It's moments like that where I just really fawn over Blitz as a, you know, chess player. And unlike, just to correct MacMate, who called him a chess grandmaster, he's a master, okay? There's master, international master, and grandmaster. And it's still a very big accomplishment. That translating over to CS is something I see, you know, happening perfectly. In rounds like that, I'm like, okay. But the difference is we got a real-time game. So playing clock down CS is always going to be #1. And on their best day, they really show that they can translate it. But one of the big differences is the fog of war that you have approaching any round. Everyone's got limited information.
Smoke about to fade, and Zontic's going to be locked in behind this box, supported, of course, by Shiro, but the site itself, does it get swarmed by pistols? 910 doesn't feel too ready for this peek back site. It's not like his scope is actually trained on Zontix, who's going to hear that. Oh, he heard that one missed jump up, so he goes for the peek, and he's going to line up 2 frags. Op steps out into Shiro's scope. Beautiful shot from the CT side. And as Shiro takes out the pistol to push in, he'll clear Techno off the site as well. Mzinho has grabbed the op in the meantime. He will bring one with him, so it's 2 casualties versus Spirit. But that one jump, leave it, you know, another reminder that Counter-Strike Comes down to one sound.
Yeah, and the single box is such a good place to play versus
You snap
Eco,
a-
where you don't have a molly coming out as well.
You snap a twig in the dragon's den.
Oh, you sound like Rusty Cole right now. Go for it. You watch True Detective?
No, I have
Oh,
no
yeah.
clue
You
what you're
actually,
talking
oh, man,
about,
you would
dude.
love him, dude. You got to watch that. You step on a twig, little bugger. You don't know what's going to come out at you.
Okay, I like that.
You don't know what's festering down there.
Down in the depths of that east side was Zontix, dude. That one missed jump. It's not even the op to get him. You see the op try to step out. So honestly, Zontix, if not for the Deagle headshot, could have even gone one better. Smooth like butter. We go again.
2 rounds left in the half, and we can definitely agree it's been a good half.
Hell yeah.
Lots of good rounds here for the Mongols and Team Spirit to show us that Mongols are here to fight, but they can't fully capitalize on Spirit being a little bit slow to start.
Chopper trying to swing around in lane. Ooh, look, free mid control. Ooh, look, free lane control. But there was indeed 3 players set up outside of that B site. All the while, we're getting this belt of util from Mzinho just getting dumped. But oh, a Molotov and a smoke spam. Are they going to fall for it? Will it matter? Do they need to have a fake in place with 9-10 hitting headshots? Magic's cleared as the cave split comes through. Mzinho holds middle, and he quickly moved from A main into mid. Now, Donk is going to find a bomb planter on his own. Donk is locked in on this Senzu fight in sight. He knows that time is ticking, that eventually Mzinho is going to come join forces. Oh, but the spam comes out. And now you know the last player was mid. Shortest avenue shall be cave. But can he swing in time? No, sir. It's the 2 young guns of Spirit to come out with the 6th. They add that to the board, take a lead, and it is just conviction on that bomb site. Sure, you get your bomb plant, but you know how scared you are hiding on that pillar knowing Donk is in the bushes somewhere?
Yeah, here's a round where Mongols meet Team Spirit at every entry, every duel.
Nice shot.
With the same amount of X factor. I mean, it's an amazing entry here from 9-10, but then it's equally nuts for Zontix and Donk to both get these frags. Like, one through the smoke, they're communicating through telepathy to put pressure on the right side of the default. Donk's watching both other sides, and it's the 2 youngsters on the team who really make this a meal for the Mongols. It'll be 6 rounds for Team Spirit. Looking to go on 7, but Mongols with a fairly decent buy here for a last attempt to tie up. We're on 1 smoke, so they can't overcomplicate this situation.
Some of these rifle headshots have been very clean from Mongols. And the calls have also had something to be proud of, so let's see if they can't sprinkle in a 6th at the very tail end. Chopper hanging on for dear life. Won't be able to get the best of 9-10. It's half his health gone. 4v3 for Mongols. They start to depart from the B site, which just drew over another member of Spirit. So all of a sudden, it's going to boil down to Zontix and Donut with a full belt of util. Can he slow down one half of the attack? Apparently not. Techno survives the spray, and we have what looks like a comfortable 4v2 for Mongols. Bomb plant cannot be interrupted. That was all the utility as well, right? 4 grenades on Zontix when he goes down. So Shiro and Magic's looking to combine, looking to rotate in from the opposite half of the map, and they're being given a lot of room to work in. Good response out of Blitz, just slips out, guns him down, and Magic's hand is forced. He's got the kit, but he gets dinked on the first fight, which suddenly takes the odds out of his favor. Into the AWP, he shall go for the deep donut peak, which he hits, but on site remains Mzinho. And so, sure enough, we split this one down the middle. Yeah!
Я тебе тэшку смотрю.
Давай.
Ты есть.
Тэшку забрал.
Хочешь ты?
Боря,
Ответь мне. Ответь мне.
Я тебе говорю, банан, вальтикай со мной, говорю. А, я думал, ты забрал фул.
Little bit of jubilation from Team Spirit as they posted their 6th round. Little did they realize Mongols would bounce back in the closer. We split the difference straight down the middle, 6 rounds of pop. They said Spirit doesn't lose to teams like Mongols, but it's Thursday and it's past noon.
You don't get to interrupt that. So Mongols, let's see if they can complete it. They showed us quality rounds there that showed us they can go to toe-to-toe to Spirit in some big moments. Aim-wise, almost everybody was on the server. I didn't feel any bad sprays, to be honest. Attackers or defenders, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
still
true.
5-1 odds here.
You always love that, right? Going through 12 rounds of Counter-Strike without a single whiff. Sight for sore eyes. Jakey and MC keeping us in the action here as Blitz holds back sights. Molly on his feet. He dives into the CT lane. A little bit of desperate USP taps, but look, it connects. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And he almost gets the bomb planter to boot, but that's a post plant queued up here for Spirit. Magic's 2 measly points of health to fall back with. You'd think he won't be able to do too much. You'd think. But Magic's believes. Takes up position behind box as they go for 2 inside of the temple. It's a triple CT lane fight coming out from Mongols. They're going for the A main smoke, and Shiro interrupts this. We go even, 4v4, and with temple control, no CT coming to clear this out. Can he be useful from inside this? Oh, Chopper able to tap Senzu down. Now his teammates smoked off, and the 10-second stick is coming through. Shiro, you've got to interrupt this, and he will! Clutches! From the jaws of defeat, he steps out through the smoke for Spirit 7.
No way he takes so long that they think, where is he going to come from if not this smoke right now? And he still pulls it out. Millimeters and milliseconds. That is the career of Shiro, honestly. Playing with the corner of the smoke, too. Oh, man. That's a round that'll get you hyped.
Oh, Shiro yelling at you. Listen, Donk yelling at me. I'm ready for that.
And he's one of the
Shiro
best.
yelling at me.
One of the best in the clutch.
Damn right. Making, honestly, P250 commercial right there. Making mincemeat of that CT armor. Just body shots in a collateral situation. Your Glock ain't getting you that one. So, a lot of faith put on Shiro in some of those moments. He's kind of their pistol king. And we'll see if this nets Spirit an early lead on the T side. It is just USPs, excuse me, for the most part. Blitz's flashbang could make things a little weird, but he gets killed with it in hand. It pops up high. It does blind Zontix. 2 frags come out from USPs, but everybody else gets cleared. That's about all you can ask for when it comes to a single flash.
Not bad. Senzu, 1-on-3 with the Deagle. And it's a massive start. A shot heard around the map. Bomb in hand, but they're going to sit patiently now.
Can't stop that plant.
Smoke's going to come out afterwards here for Donk, surely.
Chopper's only got a Tech 9. They got to favor Senzu in that fight. Despite him not having Kevlar, Donk doesn't back up just yet.
Just waiting for that one opportunity.
There it is. Shots missed. And they'll topple him. So, unfortunate, but still, honestly, worth the investment. You get 3 deaths on the side of Spirit. Mongols can't be too upset, but they are trailing by a couple rounds now.
Yeah, it's just a lead and knowing you have to work a little extra harder in the second half. But it was always going to be a difficult day here. And a difficult draw for Mongols after the way that they qualified here to the second stage.
And already a difficult event in Cologne. I mean, having to dispatch of Eternal Fire, top 8 at the major, by the way. And they've also been having themselves kind of a blossoming 2024. So a bit of a shame, in fact, that Eternal Fire had to get eliminated for Mongols to go on.
And it was such a close map, too. A 16-14 nuke or something?
Yeah.
No, it's beautiful.
I would have taken both teams. But that'd be playing favorites. And it's frowned upon. No utility here for Mongols, just 2 flashes and a frag, but oh, that is perfect timing from Mzino. He finds 2 players kind of just caught up on one another. And with Donk dead, you'd think the chances start to slide away, but a beautiful lurk from Magic's up the lane smoke. Can this actually call back much?
It just upends everything because the CT's got to respect this, whether or not it's just going to be another delayed A play. Team Spirit can play with the map now, and you can see how they get reorganized. Power changes hands with that 1 kill. Magix takes over Cave, and we see this push from 910 is a reaction because of it. So is this push into Donut. They're going to meet halfway. I think they're on the same page. But no, the CT's come back. Yeah.
With the red room contact, Chopper goes forward into the next fight. There are bodies here on top of it, but Blitz up next. Shiro comes through with the headshot, and that's the one that makes the difference. 910 will best Magix, but even Magix gets the majority of 910's health gone. Shiro coming up clutch again in the middle of the round. It was looking like a clash setup, but the trades are just that slightly more efficient for the favor of Spirit, and that is them to go up 9.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a round that rests on that 1 kill in Donut. Like, difference between a won and lost position, and you know, leave it to Shiro's 12-7, great on a rifle, everything like that to find it for you. But the Mongols had a great first step with Mzinho. They got the kill and a half. They pushed them back. They also followed them into mid. Like, they had the right protocols to find Spirit in their next reaction.
Also, though, shout out Magix coming out of that lane smoke to even cause any commotion. That's what just started to unravel the original A defense. It's what got that active donut push into the hands of Shiro. So,
yep,
2 creepy, crawly moments out of Team Spirit to go up 9-6.
It's looking like a great stylistic matchup. And a nice moment here for Mzinho, who's having a solid performance so far. And it's this kill, I think, right here. I mean, Shiro's half ready for it, but he's pre-aiming even deeper. Just needs to be first bullet to the head, and of course he delivers that.
Tough spot for the Mongols now. Little half buy to try and bolster this saved AK-47. We'll see what Magix gets up to. Oh, takes a bullet to the head. 910's AK slides down. Oh, just everywhere. Too many targets. Like a pack of gnats. Team Spirit all up in his face. There's a response out of the unlikely hero of Mongols. Just a pistol play, but it works. At least for the first. Donk hot on the heels of the attack, looking to clear out Cave. He's very aware of Techno. Oh, but Techno gets the better of him with just the 5-7. We go 4v3 here for Mongols.
It's a massive pistol moment, and you can see that Zontix is looking for outs for his team. And Chopper will die in the site too, but the bomb has already tucked tail and ran. Blitz now as the last point of resistance. Is Zontix going to think this is all open? Let's see. Oh my god, it doesn't matter. He comes in to clear it and Blitz still gets the kill. Magix. Now what? 45 seconds? There's basically no shot of winning this.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, okay. No 10 rounds maybe here for Team Spirit. Can't see Magix trying this one.
Round like this makes anything suddenly possible. 4 players alive at the moment. 3 AKs now in the hands of Mongols. And that was after 910 kind of set up as the kingpin of this 16th round, dies at the bottom of ramp, and you think, you're going for your AK play, it's all over. But 5-7's popped off.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? Like, that's the only rifle at that point, I think, for Mongols. The rest are pistols that just got upgraded. They'll definitely need a round or 2 like that if you're going to make a match like this happen in your favor.
Especially to be playing catch-up, right? We were talking about that 3-round deficit. Well,
makes up for the pistol.
Now not only is it cut down to 2, but the money's also not the best here for Spirit. This could be a very critical round by the end of this map.
And you can see the aim coming through. I mean, Donk is prepared and ready, waiting for Techno to come and peek Cave. Same with Zontix. He's not getting lazy in this position. He's coming in clear right side donut.
Just blasted away by the 5-7s. So those limitations we were talking about, double tech 9, Mac 10. Oh God, he regains vision.
Unreal.
Donk just as blind, but in with the instant headshot. Can't transition fully to the donut. That is one of the AKs down, but a missed shot from 910. It gives the weapon back over to the Team Spirit camp. Chopper is going to try to flex this deep through red. Senzu at bat gets blasted by the IGL of Spirit, who can now suddenly sweep away the back line of B. And yes, they've got cave control, but the numbers are here for Spirit.
Yeah, they're swarming the site. I mean, Techno, he can sit in this position, but they've not come in this direction. They know that someone's around here. I think his presence has been intimated, so this will be Spirit just quietly stepping forward into 10, and I think the kill of the round, like the most important crux or transition, is the one inside of window. After they let Team Spirit get that far, after Senzu gets his first shot in, they let one pass by. The rotation is very nice. Or I think Senzu, sorry, is the one who rotates in, and he just can't win his duel versus Chopper. What I get from that, man, is Counter-Strike is hard. Like, you look at that, and Chopper's not looking in the right direction. He's got half a wall in front of him. Senzu hits him with a few bullets as well. And yet he still
gets blasted.
Wins his duel. It's not like the peak was terrible or anything like that.
Oof. Tough pill to swallow for Mongols. They're just trying to sell you the snake oil of their CT side bouncing back, but tack timeout used here from Halley. This is the third and final Team Spirit tack timeout.
Yeah, I mean, definitely don't mind Mongols testing them inside of middle, as they did do a good job of finding frags when they were attacking on T side. But off the Halley tack, you're probably going to think, what's the reaction and what's my counter, instead of, are they just going to go forward with a standard aggressive default? Typically, I would assume you're not going to guess they're going to go for an aggressive default where they risk losing 2 players on a round you call attack pause. They're going to try to set up for something, either that fast play towards A that we know that they can make, or mid control but a little safer a little later, or B presence first. But a round like this, for example, they wouldn't really need attack pause to call that. They already know how to do that.
Replaying that Red Room fight, Chopper really just crushed a man's hopes and dreams.
Yeah, big time. So yeah, they won't fight him here. Mongols will go ahead and take the space over, and you can see they're setting up and waiting. And the thing is, again, the longer this round goes on, it all comes down to your elbow smokes, and CTs will eventually run out. So
keeping money here though, Mo. They don't give Chopper a primary. They've got money for 2 AKs, but poor guy's on a Tech 9, so when the man in front of you dies, you pick up his rifle.
I've always thought this was the future of Counter-Strike, I'm not going to lie. T side buying 4 rifles, just because you don't need 5 people to entry at the same time. And also, Tech 9s are very strong, so yeah. So we exit the setup phase of the round here for Team Spirit. They've got a very heavy lean towards the A site. The CTs have to peel back a little bit, but even though they have to leave mid control, they still got a lot of presence spotting. Very active here from Blitz.
Keeping a player up on lane too. If the B ramp player can come down and hold doors, I mean that would free up Mzino to turn towards elbow.
They're going to go in through mid though to split through Donut.
All right,
but Blitz is still here, man. Nice. He does not fall for this.
Nah, it's a little bit lesser on the A site, but we'll see if that comes back to haunt them or not. Zontix gets cut down by Senzu. Comfortable looking 5v3. Suddenly Chopper's Tech 9's not looking so rowdy.
It's moments like that, man, where you go, Mongols. They're smart and they're confident in themselves. This is a position that, again, off the tack, Team Spirit called this one out of spawn, waited this out in mid control, tried to come back in late, tried to split towards A. Mongols don't move a muscle, but they could have potentially used a bit more utility and a tiny bit of Fane's presence to get Blitz out of mid early on. But Blitz is calling them out, saying, you don't want to commit anything physically to the presence, because if I get the kill early, your whole strat's out the window. So they'll stand strong here. Their turn for attack.
That's Coach Mara coming through for Mongols. We got 2 loud young gentlemen in the server at the same time. We got Snow on one end of the room. We got Donk over here. The chirps are real. South American Counter-Strike, North American Counter-Strike, both looking for success today in Cologne as well. Speaking of the underdogs, Asian CS down by 2 rounds. Team Spirit really canceled out in that last one. See if Chopper can get anything going, at least to keep A little attention towards him. We've got Mzinho sliding into elbow, getting real close here and bolstered by a second CT. They're going for the climb up. We got Magix just tucked in a corner on lane.
They don't really, they can't, they have to wait the smoke out to be patient, but this
A's
is the right
open.
round to walk out, yeah.
They found this opening. Absolutely theirs for the taking. 9-10 just hoping he doesn't get smoked out or else this site is gone. But no, they step into it. Oh, and he delivers a double. Half his HP taken off, but no smoke to deny 9-10.
Yeah,
and he instead denies them. Techno comes down base of B, and that's another one added for Mongols. Completely shut down in this one.
Man, when you leave the site open, you pull a goalie, you can actually lose if the establishing smokes go down and the plant goes down too quickly. Both those shots had to go in for 9-10, and they made the mistake of trying to challenge him instead of establishing smokes. I'm not sure if they were low on utility on this round, but some people had money left over. Either way, this is not the round that Mongols were hoping for, and yet they still make the most of it.
Oh. Bomb sitting outside of the A site.
Oh, don't tell me there's a way.
Nah, Shiro, he would have heard the donut departure, but just doesn't believe that A can really be that clear for the taking.
Yeah,
it's
there's
not
just too many CTs around.
Yeah. Is it worth risking one of the two AKs to be saved? Shiro thinks not.
This last couple of rounds have been a little bit, you know.
Senzu's coming for this. To deny this gun would be big. Senzu, it's right there for you. Oh, he turns. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Blitz is still here, going to try the same thing, but same outcome. Shiro fights for it. That's 2 weapons saved for Spirit, but a 1-round difference now, all that remains.
That would have been a big find, man. After time death here, as Mongols climb one step closer to tying this game up again. Big one from 9-10, but it's a severe lack of utility. I mean, not even flashes to get 9-10 off this angle. One that he has every right to be on.
Yeah, Donk looking confused, but
I've never missed before.
What the hell is this?
Is the game broken?
They can shoot back. Mongols definitely doing that, but bottom of mid, does it fall? Yes, sir. Zontix, Tech9 comes out. Man advantage, he grabs an AK. Trying to reclaim some of that early success he's had. Techno swarmed, and the trade frag's good from Magix. Couple players caught with nades in hand, looking to just help themselves, but instead overwhelmed. And Team Spirit got a minute 15 to make sure they head the right direction.
That is brutal. Now, if Mongols have 2 up, they don't know where. We've got them scouring over on the B site to clear out some angles, and with this, buy so much time for Spirit to pick their site, walk in safely. Plant should go down, and then Mongols would be incentivized to save for the next round. You would assume 9-10's got a bit of pocket change, but it's pretty much the only one. Man, of all the rounds that we just saw, off the Halley tack, off the following round that's slow and methodical, it's this one with 2 smoke pushes and an ultra-aggressive mid setup.
Magix making sure to sweep away Senzu as well. I feel like the desk is going to have a lot to break down. There's a few of these rounds now sprinkled through this second half that have just allowed for momentum to shift. That pendulum swings. With each round, Team Spirit now at this point getting closer. I mean, it's what we came to expect, right? The last time they met on Ancient delivered. This time, too, keeping it close.
Such a key opportunity, man. You can see that with the Galils on the table and the Tech9 that came out to trade inside of middle, there was a chance for Mongols to not only get this round, but get it with a tempo and potentially force Team Spirit to save. But instead, Team Spirit get that much closer to match point.
9-10 grabbed the op. He's actually trying to hang on. He just killed Zontix, too. Yeah. This round's still alive, and
he stays alive.
It ends up being a grabbed op by 9-10. Sweep Zontix out.
Not bad.
We'll see if that comes back in any meaningful manner.
Oh, gutted for Blitz. He's there playing anti-flash, so he's the one who has to protect in that situation to take the first player, and then his teammate should be unblind by the second fight coming out, but that doesn't happen.
Hold on. We are fast into the action. Donk already sidelined.
There's no one in Donut. They can't even hear the A-Tac just yet. They're just assuming. They're running out now. Blitz is flanking fast. And reloading while he's running.
Holy hell, they open the smoke at the same time. His fresh mag ready to go. It's still back's turned. Magic's, he doesn't know.
Oh my God.
Oh, Blitz.
He could win this round by himself right now.
Blitz
He plays this right.
Keeps it close, dives them on the bomb site, interrupts the plant, gets 2 kills from it. Huge play. Chopper able to answer. They're outnumbered. They're out-healthed. Shiro and Chopper a bit stranded, still fighting tooth and nail. Another dink comes out from Chopper. That's massive. And he's trying to spray him down. Shiro can't land it. 9-10's USP's enough.
Oh, man, he was right. There was a guy there who was tagged down low. All he had to do was hit 1 bullet. I think that was actually the right approach. Just needed maybe 31 bullets in the mag for that one to take place to get the Shiro clutch. But instead, Mongols come up 1 more round. This is a round 1 inside of mid control. Almost every part of this game has been 1 inside of mid in the beginning, first 20 seconds or so. And it's been a little bit back and forth with who's going to come out on top, right? It's a lot of flashes. It's a lot of Mauzinho here sometimes, a lot of Donk the other times.
Not even who comes out on top in terms of team, but just the players. We got moments sprinkled in. Magic's Tech 9, they're just going to try to keep it simple. 9-10 down to half health, Techno in the sights.
Oh my God.
And an immediate scramble over from Blitz, trying to throw himself through, who then gets tagged. All he does is stand in short side, and Magic's lines up the perfect wall bang to keep the odds tilting slightly in Spirit's favor. Despite the triple Tech 9 setup that they have, we get the CTs going for the same line on ramp, but does this leave Cave 2 open?
Yeah, you've got to be worried about Mongols in this spot. I mean, Magic's can tuck for an infinite amount of time. They have Cave presence right now. The CTs are not flanking around through spawn just yet. And now they can start walking up as they know it's light on Cave. Smoke comes out, doesn't scare him.
Nah, it won't stop them. They're on Tech 9s. To hell with you, 9-10. The pistols try to swarm. First one's dropped in the hands of Chopper. The ramp push can't come up yet. Techno also gets another. The third player's been revealed, and Magic's comes out at the same time. Bomb is along the close wall. They could close peek 9-10. He whiffs, and as he does that, it reopens the door for Spirit. It gives Shiro an op, and that is not what you want to offer him in a post plant.
30 seconds, they got to stick around.
Bomb still pushing deep. Shiro coming back. Magic's gets a dry duel, and then Blitz takes the position of his teammate. He just 1 round prior had that massive flank. Can he catch him with backs turned again? He slides up. The op is posted. Oh, and it blasts him away. The 12th round secured off of majority Tech 9s.
Oh, that is brutal. The fashion in which Spirit win that. And that's what it's been. Agonizing round after round. Such a close performance here on this map, but you still have to give Spirit so much credit. The way they played every situation, 2 advance for positional map control, 2 trade out with the Tech 9s. They used the information from Magic's, who was holding back behind the door, to say it's time to take Cave over. Then they let 9-10 get 1 frag, but they take advanced Cave control. Then they put so much pressure on the site, and they take away all the good spots to stand in for the CT side.
Oh my God. Blitz in between 2 mollies. He gets a second. MP9 down to the bottom of middle. Just blows away 2 Spirit players. Look at the buy they have. 2 MP9s and Deagles. And Blitz takes it up onto his own to deliver a critical opening moment.
Did they throw away a full gun?
Yes. Oops.
Oh, no.
He's like, give me that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, they have the MAC-10. And we know about Chopper with a MAC-10.
Oops.
It's the op, yeah. It might be okay, though, with the... because I do risk them having it next round. They know it's an anti-eco.
Yeah, there we go. Find those silver linings.
I mean...
Shiro's like, I'd rather have my op. But let's see if Spirit can end it in a 3v5.
But genuinely, the mobility when they're not going up against rifles...
Sure. Sure. Okay. Yeah, tell yourself that. Chopper's MAC-10 about to come through Cave. There is Techno in the corner. That MP9, the other MP9. Oh, perfect from Techno. Shiro, grenade out. He's going to burn him out of the corner. That's a guaranteed bounce back. Doubles down. 9-10 gets taken off. Magic's been so key in a couple of rounds, but Senzu hits him hard. Shiro sliding out, tagged down to a quarter health. This was all set up by Blitz.
That's 2 spotted.
15 to the clock. The bomb has to go down on B if he is going to close this game. But the CTs, what do they give him? Another one to think about. The Deagle does connect, and Mongols will push this to 24.
We're trying to draw up a story here, and then Blitz with no money. His MP9 comes into elbow and finds 2 frags versus Spirit, who have been comfortably taking over middle control with an AK and
Look
a Tech
at
9
this.
running.
2 incendiaries. He knows this pocket exists. The advantage of smaller incendiaries. Gives himself sanctuary between, comes out massive with a 5 versus 3 and forces Team Spirit into the Tech 9s. Oh boy. But is it enough? We've had a few of these rounds go back and forth. Mzinho's been great. 20 and 14 at this point. Nade in hand. Here's the pounce. Tech 9's coming at him, and he's going to stand that test.
Oh, yeah.
3 off of the kill. And then with Shiro's Tech 9 to bounce back in, it just feels like too little, too late. Blitz's gun goes empty. Chopper left on his own.
Yeah, this would be more than a clutch. Otherwise, we're going to overtime. Chopper, what have you got for us? A-site's already hard enough to plant on when you're surrounded on all fronts. The siren's going off. You got 4 stars right now, Chopper.
Tries to just keep his head down. 2 CTs come swaying. And there we go. 12 all. Set up by Blitz. All Blitz with that play down bottom mid.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Quality CS here and some messy rounds, absolutely. But lots of great moves coming out from both teams. And now we have to settle this in overtime on Ancient. It was already quite an ambitious veto here for the Mongols to take Spirit in this direction, and now they're showing us why.
Nice!
Playing to their strengths instead of trying to go for some punish that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, some convoluted game plan. You've already, earlier this year, had a solid game on Ancient versus this same team. Why not take it to them again? Techno goes through, and he goes past Chopper. Magix gets blindsided. But does this open the door for the cave push? Because, yeah, Chopper's going to slip through. And right now, Senzu's falling back, playing haphazardly with nades. He still hasn't realized. Chopper gets his chance, but denied. Oh! And Senzu able to put up another. Never should he have gotten away with that kill to Donk. Zontix looking for scraps, but there is nothing here for Spirit.
Oh my god, they get posterized right here. There's a chance for Chopper to swing out and instantly get that trade, and then Senzu dies, but not before getting 2. That's insane. They should have never gave him money. Here we are in overtime, and Mongols using every advantage. It's like a fight yard out there inside of middle in these early rounds. I love how that's where we kind of thin out the material to start things off and then go straight into late round situations. But the fact that Mongols are not only confident enough to keep fighting there, but also now winning and get the first round of overtime, well, that's a good sign. Let's see if the lead will last forever.
Before this game went live, we saw Blitz yawning. Now we see him in overtime, giving it a little stretch. I guess I'll try now.
Maybe I'll take the weights off.
My God. No stress, no sweat. And no margin of error now for Spirit. Quick challenge in middle for Blitz. Doesn't seem too concerned about it.
Remember the last time that they played, it was Donk at literally Katowice, right? The best tournament run in history. And since then, you know, Donk has still shown how strong he is, but he's not at that peak. Mongols have had a lot of time to let that ruminate. Waiting for another chance to strike.
Coming back to this head-to-head as a completely different team in some regards. Having touched a trophy. Having kind of shed that reputation as being total underdogs. And having instead to have to deal with expectations.
Yeah, they're no longer that cute team from the small region
They're here to play.
Yeah.
Shiro scoped in for the 3-player ramp push. Oh my god, what a snap, but Blitz is here to help. And with that third set of eyes, it's a ton of damage for Shiro to have to deal with. But the one player who goes unchecked is Zontix into deep red. 910 is done. Hit by the truck that is Zontix almost in CT spawn. Mzinho has to be his counterpart. And as they approach close, yes, he gets one, but Donk able to skate by. And all of a sudden, it is Blitz on his own versus 3. A wounded Shiro, a half-tag Zontix, disengaged from the red room, but a clean move from Spirit, all off of Zontix timing top mid.
Yeah, man, Zontix, he came into this round with 9 kills, not having the best game ever since the first half.
Can you make him scramble?
A moment like that.
Hold on, flash into the donut. Okay, go down smooth. Just got me nervous as he tried to play that out.
But yeah, Zontix, 2 kills after starting off overtime with 9. But how are you supposed to dislodge somebody from window when that rotation comes in? It's already too late to deal with something like that. Plays that spot beautifully. Keeps this game close.
This shot.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, you would think that boost is the solution.
And versus so many other players, it would be. But Shiro,
he's a top dog.
Not letting you get away with your fun and games. And as always, surviving more than most. 13 deaths on Shiro, in contrast to 20 or more for the rest of the team. Never goes down easy. That's Spirit as a whole. Disengages from the elbow opening. Blitz gonna keep the pressure up. Take a glance, see if there's anything really behind this or whether it is just an early extremity stack, which is the case. B-site better be on high alert. Grenades coming over the top. Senzu just looking for contact as Mzinho's given a chance, but fire spread burned him. And surely that'd be heard.
Oh, that's a foreboding smoke. They're like, what are they doing in this position?
Nice.
Oh my god, Techno making the most of it.
Giving himself flashes. They want to take this fight. Are you serious?
They did get up.
Oh my
got
god,
the kill.
Mzinho able to catch one, but this is risky business coming out of Mongols.
But the most important part is he saw them, and he saw the bomb as well. They made confirmed contact. The T's don't feel comfortable execing up through Banana, even though there's no one there yet.
Chopper looking for his. Already held here by Techno, who's done such a good job inside of the cave. All that damage early versus Magix. Picks up the headshot to Spirit's IGL. And then Shiro gets blindsided from Blitz, who's just been able to hang on to elbow this entire time.
They don't believe it, how late they've been sitting at the bottom of mid on the CT side.
But it's...
They're calling out all of Spirit's early utility, some of their early fights. They're here to... They're playing punch for punch.
Yes.
And their arm is beat purple, okay? Beat red. And yet they're still fighting. They don't care. They haven't been scared by the fact that Team Spirit had brought out Donk to fight them in mid and won rounds that way. They've just continuously, they've been persistent about this one piece of map control, and it has just yielded so much.
Able to check it too, right? Dropping the frag grenade and elbow, seeing nobody behind it. That's what justified the early Mzinho climb up. It's what threw Techno into a bit of a spiral, trying to smash damage down ramp, and sure enough, all of that bolstered by Blitz's certainty that nobody was actually trying to take mid. And it's a daunting task to fight elbow like that when you know Donk at any moment could be around the corner. Shiro slammed.
Techno is a total beast on that nuke map versus Eternal Fire. Showing us why that, we talked about him more than anybody else, I think, at the beginning of the Mongol days when they first burst onto the scene.
More utility pressure here. Blitz trying to find a gap in mid as Mongols take to the T side. Mid wrapped in smoke. Magix, trying to get away. Lucky to be alive. Doesn't get jumped on fast enough. Senzu actually lets him get away, 910's got a fight here. Techno killed him with a nade over the top of the B site as the mid player goes down. Shiro tasked to recover, and as he hits his shot to Blitz, the IGL hangs on, which means Red Room remains compromised. A site could be split at a moment's notice, and it is a risky business from Blitz to cross back. 910 stays here, and as he sticks in, he gets his. That is Chopper down and a 5v2 for Mongols to lock in 15.
Man, they really can float to the level of their opponent. They create a winning position here on the map, and they are tricking everybody. They're all out of position. The A site is completely empty. Donk has no good information from his teammates at this point of the round. He's still watching for B. They don't know where the bomb is. And Mongols might be able to do this. They're going to get to 15.
How many individual moments here from Mongols in this one round alone? Just outmaneuvering Team Spirit, running a risk by jumping over top of Shiro's angle, and not dropping a player in the process. Mongols said they wanted to play their best. They come into Ancient versus Team Spirit, a daunting task, and a map that the last time they met went the way of Spirit. Lo and behold, Mongols with 2 map points.
It was messy all the way to the finish line in regulation, so wouldn't be surprised to me if we go into another overtime right here. Spirit have the money. They have the ability, the tools, the players, the will, the clutch, everything, the IGL. It's just that Mongols are keeping up even when they're playing their best.
Homing missile into the bomb site for Magix to deal with. 910 obviously left. Like Blitz leaving Red Room just queues up 910 to be holding that angle and catch them off guard. Magix can't believe it. Playing for a second OT now. They'll go to the bottom of middle for a fight. They let it go for Mongols 1 round prior.
Wait, this is kind of dangerous for their mid players, right? I mean, oh, Donk's watching
Good
this.
hold, but pinch from both sides. Oh, and Chopper comes out, he emerges, but as he switches guns, that is where he falters.
Oh my God.
And this is where Spirit could fall.
It's possible.
Mzinho, 2nd kill, his 28th of the map. And the world's 2nd best ranked team banks on Shiro and Magix to somehow hang on in a man disadvantage, and it will very much be Shiro here, locked into the back of the A site. He's got an incendiary and flashes, his teammate slowly working over, but he starts to turn away. The uncertainty of middle.
This is the best chance to get a kill, to keep this round in their favor, as they now start to snake across the site.
It's already held.
Oh!
It's already posted. 910 comes out, and as he does so, it is a limp in from Magix. What can he do at this point? You've already had your Opper rocked off of the angle. You could try to unravel it from Donut instead. Sure, you've got this kit, but you are so incredibly outnumbered, outpositioned, and time ticking against you.
I was thinking that this is a day, you know, for Mongols, or they roll Spirit as they draw into the 2nd stage, and that's so unlucky for them, but they wanted the challenge.
He's going to keep this challenge alive. Magic's going to got to sprint in from this point forward. He's got a player behind sight. He's got the kit for the defuse, but he's so desperate and without any information. Donut distraction serves up the win, and Mongols will best Team Spirit. A 16-13 overtime affair and a masterclass call from Blitz.
Ancient, man. That's a statement.
That ain't no easy feat.
So they got a mad Team Spirit now, and Mongols showed that they can bring it today, man. The underdogs today have been bringing it all over the place.
And by all over the place, we mean victory lane. A little too often for the favorites' likings. Senzu will strike first blood here on the 2nd map. Zontix, though, going to keep them honest, at least for a little while. Then the bridge push with 3 players out from Mongols goes up 4v2. Oof, Donk gets blasted out of the round. And Chopper is going to need a hell of a clutch, or else Mongols are going to go right back to where they were. A lead over Spirit to start map 2 as well.
12 rounds to go. And then, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, we saw the Saw Masterclass versus G2, but this would absolutely take the cake. This would be the biggest win for Mongols, like in an individual best of 3 this year. You know, I mean, this would be beating, even though Spirit are not the world #1 on rankings, they're the team that crushed Na'Vi at London. They're the team that Na'Vi are probably most scared of at this tournament. And they're kind of the team that until they lose, they're the favorites, right, to go through because they can go and beat basically any team here on a good day, not even their best day.
And also a team that, again, you know, a lot of the conversation around this head-to-head was these aren't the kinds of opponents Spirit lose to.
No.
They go down versus the best. So
yeah, they're very good at beating teams lower ranked than them. And not all good teams can say that.
So if Mongols were truly able to do this one in a best of 3.
And then conversely, Mongols are very good at punching up, and that's why we're seeing them sort of expand at a tier 2 and consistently take big games and close games in tier 1. But then they can also, they can also lose to, you know, the Nips of the world, the Bleeds, the, you know, online. But listen, put them in a LAN setting versus a good squad, and they're going to rise to the challenge. That's what we've seen.
Free little bomb delivery here for Mzinho. And he wants a little more for that MP9. Let him go. Let him make a little bit of money. He was lights out on map 1. Stepping up. I want to talk about the young talent coming forward here in Cologne. Well, it's supposed to be about Donk. Zeno's got other ideas. Donk's sitting around on the rugs, but Aladdin's not home. How does that even...
How do you do that?
Look how
he had
afraid
full health, right?
He has a Glock, and everybody's waiting to double peek him like he's a goddamn monster.
How do you do that? Oh my god.
Kid's special.
He is. And that makes that last map win even more impressive. I mean, that was even a big game from Shiro, you know?
Sure.
It's like even that G2 game, it was like amazing from Sa because you didn't even see that many times where G2 whiffed or made some big mistake or like didn't have a good setup. They beat them fair and square. They went toe-to-toe with them in very decent form. And that's sort of how it felt last map too. Even though there were some ecos back and forth. I don't know, man. Something in the water today here in Cologne. Ooh, very scary. Zontix gets closer to the front door of the A site. And it's been quiet. There was no flash retake of A main, right? So they might have their guard down a little bit. Yeah, Mzinho has no idea how close Zontix is because he just walked in for free. The molly misses.
Oh, wow. Oh my god, he swings back in.
He actually went back for that duel.
Yeah, tried to take it. Luckily for him and Mongols, there is success elsewhere on the map.
This is a good map right now. They even just refreshed the A main player. They have Blitz in his place. The CTs are up. There's a mid timing for Team Spirit, but they didn't take it yet.
There's a set of eyes on it with 910 leaning back in Temple, which means he could obviously skate over to the B site if they do need him. Bomb starts to cross over mid. The free mid timing has passed, but camera could still be compromised. And Blitz, unfortunately, very alone. Oh, Techno not ready for that hit. That does draw bomb back over. Senzu from Plat. His teammate's going to be mollied off. That doesn't stop 910, who slides out through it. 15 to the clock. He loses the teammate. Senzu's down, but 910 holds. And that's a gun round in the pocket of Mongols.
And 910 makes that look so easy, but what would have happened there if he died? A plant on the back of the site, a 1v1 with Team Spirit favored. This is the Mongols winning their key duels. And you love the reaction as they expand versus that A main sneak from Zontix. That was even a mistake from Mzinho to try to duel after he could have just disengaged. And then still they get back main control. Still they actually are kind of working as 5 fingers on one hand here as they take control in both halves of the map at the same time. Techno does a good job of being out in main as well as back in dark.
And all that with, again, the first A main player getting completely caught.
Yeah, man.
But Blitz was there to kind of patch the holes, right?
Yes, yes, he was.
Make sure this defense didn't take on too much water.
Was there a dropped? Did Mzinho have a smoke out or a molly?
He dropped his molly before he died, so his smoke should have fallen to the ground.
Right, the molly landed in front of him. So that's partly what helps, obviously. The fact that Zontix can't enter the site right after that kill. That makes a big difference.
Tech 9's across the board here for Spirit. Going for a fast A hit. Mzinho better fall back. Nade will find a little bit of health, but not too much. His entire belt gets dumped. Magic's able to take control of Fountain, but from here, Spirit just paused. We've got a missed smoke for Heaven.
They can't even hold on to this.
Yeah, not ideal.
No way to scale from here on out.
And unfortunately for them, they just walk back into the lying weight of 910. Shiro flashed, so he's not able to activate despite Bomb being back behind him. And this one, what felt like a real pounce opportunity for Team Spirit, unfortunately dries up.
They were hoping to get a kill with that and then get a shuffle on the CT side and then get a rotation kill. But of course, they're coming in with almost no guns and now almost no utility. This one smoke could be key. But Malzinho plays up front.
Here's them stomping forward. Oof, oh my God, shut down their hopes of those Tech 9s doing any damage. Completely quelled.
I mean, I love what I'm seeing on the map from the CT side. Like, last game, close. This one, I don't know. Spirit spent a lot of time talking on a pause to try to figure out that last round and then got completely shut down by the Mongols. This round's even cleaner. I just love the way that they're sort of breathing when it comes to pushing extremity map control, because that's the main disadvantage here on Anubis for the CT side. The aggressive CT options are either obvious or too easy to counter.
Zeno again, it's got to be careful. Yeah, we've seen this one get a little risky, but
oh man,
hey, he hasn't died yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, he hasn't died yet. And actually, I mean, the one time he did, he kind of like chose to. he could have actually escaped.
Take me.
But genuinely, if your shoulder peaks are good enough and you're not dying, it's like Flamesy on B Inferno. It's one of the best shoulder peaks ever, right? He doesn't often get caught off guard. And if Mzinho, they believe they can kill him here, that's one thing. But if they can't, even though they keep seeing him, he can keep trying.
Just jiggling around the pillar. Just a flash first. Molly, and he slides. Doesn't drop Zontix. And there's nothing else here at the A play, so they were not anticipating the all-in. They'll pop open camera smoke and get no chance to gun anybody down. 910 has to walk away empty-handed. The whole team walks away with nothing here.
Yeah, and Mzinho plays that spot. That's really great to get back to, but he does it with no one in heaven watching the cross from him, right? The last round was successful because someone took a fight before him. But usually if you swing first from that position, it's always being held by the third guy in. They're waiting for that timing. And there was no one to be a distraction for Mzinho. So much came down to his aim.
They're just kind of singing his praise, his ability to stay alive in that position. But now we get an example of what happens when it doesn't go his way, and just how quickly the round gets swept up by Spirit.
Definitely. It's a position where if he stays back in the site, it's harder to scale towards him. That's the tricky part about Anubis on A, is kind of closing the gap between the pillar and the fishtail, you know, for anyone backside in heaven. And they gave him an early duel. Now, I will say, though, Spirit going for the call to bait out his utility, then just come back again a little bit later was pretty tricky.
Yes. To do it with two. And he almost finds the timing there, but we see Donk get his gun back out in time. Or, excuse me, Zontix behind him. They combine together to drop him, so he'll go for the nade bottom stairs. It flies overhead of Shiro. And this time he's not alone. It's going to be 910. Rather than playing middle, just postured behind him on the pillar. So a similar scene here for the Mongols, but doubled up. Zontix coming at this. Again, it's about the same thing, but 910 tries to slide out while the fire is burning. They are not going to give away this positioning for free, but he gets caught on the climb up. Missed shot, double out of Zontix, and Team Spirit content to sign up for these fights. Blitz tries to throw himself into the action, but meanwhile, he's losing fights elsewhere, losing teammates all over, and Donk has delivered a critical headshot to guarantee that this one is also Team Spirit's.
Okay. Welcome to Invite. Unfortunately, not much more to say beyond like 910's got to hit that shot. They didn't know he was going to be there. And Mzinho gets caught jumping up on this table. Timing's great, though, for Team Spirit. And whether or not there are fine margins, Team Spirit won the round and with conviction went to try to find the same duel and won it 2 rounds in a row. They deserve some credit for that. I don't know what happens 910 if he hits that, if they're able to trade him back or not. But, you know, Inop in that position has got to nail those. 9-10 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? It's a slow burn. You really got to think about that. Some people not smart enough.
It's not easy hanging out with a genius. I'll tell you that much. But I don't need to tell you that.
Hey!
That's me. I'm the genius. It's going to take a genius to figure this out. That affinity for long A. Will they continue to see it? Zontix has been content to sign up for that fight. Blitz? Whoa. That feels pretty brave, man. Dropping down into water like that. Zontix on his own over towards the bottom of stairs. He doesn't seem to know he's got players getting closer. All the while, B starts to fall. Techno can't offer a hold.
Oh my god.
And with all that lane control, great, but they're on high alert for it. Donk keeping eyes on it. Zontix had pulled back from the staircase. They'll go in and deal out a little more damage. Chopper, nice headshot. Blitz's position now known. It's him versus Chopper, and Chopper comes out on top with the double. Team Spirit starting to find their groove in this map pick. And Donk is going to be let off the leash to go deal more damage. Mongols, your save is compromised. Your Anubis is dwindling.
And this is where the system for Team Spirit is great, but you got to give so much credit to Chopper for coming up with calls like this. Explosive was the solution. Look at the contact plays that they've just pulled off now. You could easily get shut down if you exec these wrong or the wrong timing comes in. But look what happens instead. It's like exactly what Mongols can't stop. Every other round that's been a little bit slower, a little bit more organized, has actually favored them. And now there's a new challenge. It looks like Spirit have tapped into this, even though they didn't start with a lead.
I feel like we're also just kind of not getting the laser beams that we got out of Mongols back on Ancient.
Yeah,
some of the time to kill back then was way better. This Techno inability to hold the B site, for example.
If Techno thought that was going to happen, he would have had eyes forward on the main choke point. So it's another situation where they have no idea the attack's coming in. That's been their best asset so far.
Chopper having fun with this one. Versus the unarmored pistols. Mongols not looking to post much. A empty A-bomb site. Clear for the taking yet again. Team Spirit choosing all the right times to go hit this half of the map. And Chopper not going to fall victim to your lurks. Done. 2 bridge players go down. Techno.
We already got the best makings for the best possible second half.
Oh, yeah?
Mongols already got 4 rounds on CT side, so...
Telling me that's all they need?
No, it's enough to make the game interesting.
You're saying Mongols still going to win?
Mongols can win, yeah.
It's a bold claim to say 2-0 like this, but...
I've been known to say some crazy things.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is
Don't
very,
test me on
very
broadcast.
true.
I'll bring you down with me.
I'll say it.
Okay? Frenchman. Take you to the bibliothèque. You're going to learn a thing or two.
Okay, this guy knows 3 French words. Let's try to figure this one out. How the hell do we stop this kid? How do we hold him back? When I say kid, I mean kids. Zontix and Donk. Piecing together that A success that has kind of put the CT side on wobbly legs. But you know what happens? You get wobbled, you just start throwing haymakers. Nothing too risky out of the gate here for Mongols. Just Techno jiggling with the smoke out. 910 didn't get any contact top middle, rather met by a smoke. And now as Shiro holds, there is a chance to present it, but first dog's gonna go in. Man, lucky to still have that much health. Took a bullet to the forehead, dropped by 40, disengages. And as he pulls back, there's this all too often ominous feeling that Zontix is ready for A.
Man, they're right about these early slow rounds. Like literally nobody inside of middle. Pure resource commitment from the Mongols to the extremities, and the Spirit haven't actually figured this out. Now they're gonna do a little walk up.
Zinho's taking on the risk again. It's not the first time and it won't be the last time, but he has to find that margin of error.
This is sort of level 2 here for the Mongols, as now Spirit are involving middle.
Sure.
Blitz is going to come in, and he's coming in with a little bit of utility. 910 worried about this timing. We're getting to the late portion of the round now.
Magic's just jumping, making sure that Molly goes deep enough to get Techno back into his sight. At some point, 910's attention could get called over to help him. Zinho, who holds the test?
Oh, yeah.
Stands tall in the first one. Very clean kill. And that opens a door, a pocket for 910 to thrust himself into. Can he hang on? The third piece of the long push distracts. Chopper fires off and falters. 10 to the clock. And 910 cleared. Up close, the off of Shiro toppled. And as Blitz comes down, he gets pieced up. But Magix knows he doesn't have time. The clock is going to favor Mongols here in round 9. It's been a dry streak for rounds, but they will at least post 5.
Yeah, and he survives after time with the op for Shiro. That helps out as we move forward in this half. But man, this is a very tenuous late round situation where any small mistake could lose this round for the Mongols. And Mzinho, who has the most pressure on him on a very flat angle there, gets the kill. That's so important. 910 also doesn't fall for the bait of the shoulder peek. It's actually impossible for those two players who are approaching him to communicate who swings first when they don't know how deep he is into one angle or the other. But he reads the situation perfectly, and there's nothing that can teach you how to do that well. You just got to go off feeling.
Whoa, careful. Yeah, feeling it. Confidence from the last round almost puts him into the op scope of Shiro. So a little more active on long A, Mongols, as opposed to just allowing Zontix to kind of get up into their faces. I don't think Team Spirit are too comfortable with this prod that they've gotten out in the last couple rounds. You know, Mongols starting to take a bit more space, getting their elbows out in the CT side. And at the moment, looking for a B peak that could put Magix on a silver platter. He holds back, spots the top of the second peak, jump up. Oh, Senzu, he wanted that so bad.
He said, come back here.
And all the while, with two players peeking out long B, you've got that third one in 910 posturing with the op, making the most of a round with little utility.
They could be generating a lot more in the way of lurks in these early moments. It's been brawly here.
Damn, that nade not going to find Zinho. He's able to get off site. We've got Zontix looking to pounce, but while blind, here comes Senzu helping out, and Blitz's MP9 takes down another, pushing these positions all the way into the face of Shiro. Every single player tries to get into this A site, only to be met by resistance. A strong defense. That's what they're throwing forward now. Confident in their gunfights.
Dude, that's incredible.
And the trades look efficient. They barely take damage in this one. Mongols starting to pull ahead. They could very well end this half with a lead, and we felt like 4 rounds could have already been enough.
100%. To make it interesting in the second half, and now we're getting into bonus territory. You use the perfect analogy. That's putting their elbows out. And again, it's the difficult part, and the reason that this map leans T-side is the extremities are very T-favored. But what we're seeing here is Mzinho with no support sometimes, confidently pushing main, sometimes dying, but most of the time he's getting the map control. And on the other side of the map, it's working out just the same. They even chase down Magix, who's holding them down from very favored, safe T positions. And this is just creating so many opportunities for the Mongols, who are not turtling up and waiting for the exec to come their way, suffering from some of the contact explodes of the previous rounds. How far can they take this?
To 6 rounds at the very least.
Now, I'm really surprised to see Dog not completely running over Dark. Like, this is something that he does so well. Runs up to it very fast early in the round, fights it by himself. There's a little bit too much structure here for Team Spirit inside of middle, and I feel like they've also missed the opportunity to take over middle, where Blitz is now playing. And he's waited just the right amount of time as an IGL to say, okay, now let's pay attention to this. They're probably not going to go for their contact explodes.
I think also waits just the right amount of time to pull out that double op setup. Haven't seen it too often. We expect it with Mongols, and they'll throw it out. 910 finds his first. That's Chopper sidelined, and 910 trying to kind of tether here with Techno, who puts a smoke down in front of Dark. We hit 55 seconds. Nade goes deep, a little spray just in case, opening the possibility of Donk to fire back, but he doesn't. And I think you're right. There is almost this kind of muzzled effect on Donk at the moment just because of team spirits. Slower approaches. You can't keep a wild animal in a cage.
Gotta let the dog loose in the dog park.
Right now, Donk, a part of this 3-player pack. Nade 4-pillar. Dark control, sure enough, here for the CTs. And 910, oof. It's his teammate who actually gets hit harder. Techno able to post a frag elsewhere. Manzinho comes in with the double, and it's actually him on the smoke.
Yeah, what's him? This is a cameo from Manzinho as they come over to the other side of the map, and he's still there to greet them at the front door.
Damn, all that pressure, everybody looking for the plat frag, everybody just looking for that thread to pull on to unravel this, but a very nicely stacked site from Mongols. And a thriving CT side at this point. 2 different moments where 910's able to just step out. Double spray down from the kid. And we get Team Spirit desperate for a 5th round, coming in with all of the bells and whistles. Everything they can afford, and an immediate 4-player pack over towards Long B. This is Mongols who just sprinted to 4 rounds out of the gate here on Anubis. Felt like all their momentum was gone, and out of nowhere, they start to get more active. It began by fighting over towards Long A. Well, right now, here inside of the B site, one last test for Senzu, bested by Magix, who gets the better route. Now, Blitz's Deagle does find one, and the peek out of Dark is good from Techno. No way! They're stopping this again! Mzinho comes out from the temple, Shiro into the clutch. Oh, they try to rush it, and now with bomb in hand, he's down for the count. And it is indeed an 8-round half from the Mongols. Wow! Pedal to the metal for the Mongols. It was a response out of Team Spirit that had us thinking maybe Ancient was just their bread and butter, but they've spread Spirit across the board here on map 2 as well, and now Mongols sitting pretty on an 8-4 lead. Longers with a T-side on Anubis behind them. The most T-sided map in the pool, the most played map at the play-in stage of Cologne. Why wouldn't the Mongols be able to finish this map off?
Dude, they actualized the reality of all of their setups in the beginning. They responded as Team Spirit adapted, and some of the best rounds Spirit won were just the low telegraph, fast explosions into the site. The slow methodical ones, somehow Mongols are the ones who came out ahead in, and now they get to see if they can, you know, abuse all the instruments of Blitz's mind here and create a map on the T side that could potentially be too overwhelming for Team Spirit to handle today. Will they be getting caught on a slow start here in the second stage of Cologne?
Pillar player gets
my God.
blasted. Magix doesn't even have a chance to turn. Oh
my God.
9-10 goes for 3.
What?
Just like that, B site is gone. Mzinho is able to take the deep glance to Temple. Team Spirit are starting to get nervous.
Not just that, it's 9 rounds.
Team Spirit trail by 5, a map in the Mongols' back pocket, and the loser of this match, reminder, goes on to play G2 because Saw upset us 1 match ago.
Oh, that's right.
We could be looking at the returning Cologne champions versus the Katowice 24 champions in an elimination game tomorrow night.
Oh my God.
If Mongols convert this pistol and somehow overwhelm Team Spirit.
It's very possible, man. This is this is already better than what we saw on Ancient. That one ended 6-6 at the half. And I think Spirit won the pistol on Ancient as well, right? It's a slight comeback for the Mongols. A harder situation. And look at the pathing. It's perfect here from 9-10. Magix is hoping to hell that someone comes out of that smoke while they're exiting dark, but they space perfectly. It's idyllic. So Mongols now, well, this is like a free route to 10 rounds. We've got 2 flashbangs on Chopper. I don't know what kind of hopes they've got, but you got to think, you know, they're looking at 2-3 kills best case scenario here for Team Spirit. I mean, when we get to the rounds where it's half buys, I would say you got to be a bit more nervous. But round like this, Connor would be willing to bet all of his hair that Spirit can't win.
And Blez. Blitz gonna find mid clear for the taking. Door peek comes out in a second. But Blitz actually takes up a position in window. Now he's between the 2 CTs. Ooh, he's blind, but they don't find him.
They don't know about him.
Oh my God. Blitz given a gift.
He just interrupted the meet cute. They were just gonna try to hang out, exchange phone numbers, and both got murdered in cold blood. Very cool. Very cool, Blitz.
Slides into the corner like a rook.
Not passing the vibe check right there, man.
And the bomb's uninterrupted over on the A site, completely clear for the taking. It is a 10th round confirmed for Mongols, 3 away from the unthinkable.
Yeah, what the hell? Crazy scenes. You know, I always try to pick a team from the region that I think will be the best, that, you know, can win the major or whatever.
Sure.
The Mongols were, I was like, can I pick a Chinese team for Shanghai? And I was like, I don't think I could do that. But the Mongols genuinely earlier this year, obviously, we saw some stuff out of them that was like, for the people who have been watching CSGO from the beginning, waiting for, you know, every region has their time, right? Even the smaller ones, even North America. It's not small, but weak, right? We have our time. And the Mongols are the closest thing to a team that looks so solid they can transcend since, you know, North America had the run that it did in the later years of CSGO. And genuinely, very impressive roster. A lot of roster moves that they made to build to this point. it feels like Blitz. He just wanted to keep the daycare system.
Yes.
Keep making the team younger and younger every single time. And I felt like he was making one too many moves, to be honest.
Yes, it really felt like he had maybe kind of jumped the gun on that.
But now it's actually been some time with this lineup, and they haven't made another one. They are trying to build with it.
It's the revolving door that was Mongols for a little while. It also felt like maybe a new team who bursts onto the scene would get put underneath that microscope and then ultimately crumble. Like everybody could figure it out. And maybe that's why we had this kind of taper off in performance and results and accomplishments from Mongols.
This is why I always talked about them like Armada from Smash. The team that with very little practice in international waters that still believed and got good and figured out the game at the highest level possible. That's the most impressive part about this roster. And in this matchup, they're already showing us that it can translate to success. They should be a beacon of hope to anyone from smaller regions.
Wow, he finds him and the mid kill. This is the gun round for Spirit. It's one thing to make this upset happen. It's another if they embarrass them. Donk trying to bring it back. Compromise from behind. No, the MAC-10 spray down. And now this isn't just feeling real. This is feeling unstoppable.
No, now it'd be an underdog comeback if Team Spirit brought it back. They've got nothing here. Shiro snap buys a Famas. Pissed. What is about to take place? 3 out of 3 tack timeouts called. Now, Spirit have had the odd, weird loss here or there recently. Even though they beat Na'Vi at London, they lost to G2 at the EWC. They've shown some weakness at weird times, but never to a team ranked this far below them. And conversely, Mongols have never picked up an upset of this magnitude and in this style. Incredible what they can potentially do here. Now the question is, can they close out? Because Spirit are not a fragile team that at Kato, they started every game with a lead, and since then have had points in time where they've choked big games. Since then, they've actually made comebacks happen. They beat hard teams in desperate circumstances without winning pistols and forged a situation for themselves. Now they'll have to do that again. You think it's going to be possible, but it has to literally start with a round with 3 MP9s.
Feels like their hands are starting to get tied. Feels like Mongols have just already done enough, but where is Donk, man? Where is the wide swing?
I don't know why they haven't used him.
He does not feel weaponized across this series.
Yeah. You know, feels like a character from War and Peace, just in a passenger instead of a hero, you know?
When did Donk decide to find stoicism? Zinio able to walk out long A. Oh my god, he just takes Shiro straight off the pillar.
Wow.
You're now down to just Donk's M4 and these MP9s. A smoke for Zontix that he doesn't even throw because it feels like, if anything, they're contemplating saves. Because they know how dire of a straight they find themselves in. This full-blown 4-player execute comes in, and he doesn't even serve up a distraction. No way to slow it down, nothing.
They won't even be able to trade these in at Army Surplus for better guns. It's going to be MP9s again. They better stick around for something.
Will Mongols make a mistake? Will they offer some kind of overzealous opening that could get the retake going? No! Double headshots comes out from Senzu and Blitz, and that turns Donk's tail the other way. We are talking 12-4 Mongols, and Team Spirit yet to arrive in Cologne.
Mzinho with an amazing first map paired with a fantastic second. Blitz leading from the front, 9-10, not missing his shots this time. And here are some kills in the exit just for Donk to try to recover his scoreline. It's been mediocre so far. He wasn't useful on T side, and now Mongols are within touching distance. They're the kind of team that don't celebrate even if they win. But you know, at this point in the game, they're definitely not going to get too excited. Spirit can come alive with just Tech 9s if they have to, 5-7s.
Mazzino finding so many openings on long A as well.
How's the kid who never got scared pushing for main control on CT side going to worry on the approach on T side where he's advantaged? He's already proved himself on this part of the map.
Doesn't matter what you throw at him. Zontix hasn't been able to hold him back since he switched sides. There was a couple missteps, but a couple of missteps have not been enough to keep Mongols out of this one. Ooh, an upset is one thing, an embarrassment's another. And while Senzu opens up shop again, it is this sporadic placement of MP9s that's going to have to go above and beyond, but there's no cover backside here for Magix. And so Mongols 3 kills out from opening stage 2 of Cologne with an upset over the number 2 ranked team. Chopper has a chance to keep the hope alive. Shiro waits, lets them cross. It is all about Chopper getting into position, but once he's in position, what can he do? And what's left by the time he gets there? Extending into the AK, they know about him. Shiro's gonna be trying to slide up along this wall. Opera's looking to dodge it, 9-10, half health. Oh, that's nice! Shiro comes in with 2, down goes Chopper on the other end, and as he's in behind the obelisk, onto the SMG, he's still got a good chance, but that takes Dakin down. It's a direct flight from Ulaanbaatar to Upset City.
No way. Not only was this a victory and revenge, it was a taste of Kato from the Mongols with this scoreline. Unbelievable what they've done here in stage 2. They have got to be proud of themselves.
Teenage Prodigy.